Hello and welcome to Living Creative with Pixie Princess. Today we're on meal 2 of our EveryPlate box, and today's menu we are cooking chicken sausage and roasted tomato linguine. So stay tuned. So glad you stayed tuned. So we prepared as much as we could ahead of time, so we're not cooking this meal the whole time. It's not a hard prep. The hardest part is chopping the vegetables, so that's what took the longest. The recipe says it will prep in 10 minutes and ready in 30. 10 might be pushing it a little bit, but it's not that bad. But we did prep as much ahead of time. We had a small tomato that we cut into quarters, kind of like you would potatoes, and roasted them in the oven at 400. They were drizzled with olive oil and salt and pepper. This tomato was okay. It wasn't a bad tomato. It's not one I would have chosen if I was picking produce in the produce department or the farmer's market, but it was a fine tomato. So we've already roasted that. We had to cook our linguine, which I've already done. So our linguine is already done. We boiled it in salted water for 10 minutes. And we chopped up half of an onion that I've already started sauteing to save some time. And we have 2 cloves of garlic, a tablespoon of butter. Our other ingredients, of course, is the chicken sausage. We have tomato paste, cream cheese, and Parmesan cheese. Now, it said to reserve half a cup of the pasta water, which I did right here. And we will need 1 cup of plain water. So my onions are already sauteed. And let me get my recipe where I can read it. So I'm going to add the sausage. And it says to cook it until it is brown. I'll get my hands off here. Okay, so it says to add the sausage to the onions that we've already sauteed. And my pan doesn't seem to be hot here. So the things that didn't come with the meal, it suggests chili flakes. We have some, but I'm not going to use them. I'm trying to cook it as close to the recipe. Now, salt and pepper, everybody, that's a staple in probably 100% of the kitchens in America. So, okay, now my meat's cooking there. So I'm not complaining about that being an extra, not included in the meal package, because most people have that already. And it always asks you to do oil. We may not always have olive oil, which we should. It's a lot better than vegetable oil, but we usually have one or the other or both. All right, that's cooking now. So the picture on here, it looks very tasty. We're going to see if it looks like the picture here. But the main thing is it going to taste good. Okay, so we've got to get this browned and cooked thoroughly before we add other ingredients. So I'm not going to do that on camera just to save some time. So let me go ahead and get this prepared, and then we'll come back and add the other ingredients that we need to add. So stay tuned. Okay, our meat's done, so now we're going to add our garlic. It shared the plate with the butter. And it just said to cook it for about 30 seconds, which that isn't that long. It should start to smell. I'm sorry, that was a timer I had on. Apologize, I forgot to turn that off. Okay, and then it says to slowly stir in the cup of water. And just mix that together. And I would suggest having some scissors. Some of these packages are not that easy to tear open. Let me turn my timer off 1 second. Okay, so next we're going to add our tomato paste. Okay, that one wasn't too hard. And it's thick. And kind of treat these packages like a tube of toothpaste. You go from the, squeeze it all down and roll it down until you can get it out. And that's good there. And we're going to give that a stir into the water. So we got to stir this until it's coated through and through. Throw this away. Okay. And what do we do next? Okay, so now we've already added our water, we've added our tomato paste. We need to add some salt and pepper. Here's my pepper. And some salt. It just says to taste. Okay. Okay, so we've got that. Now we got to add our cream cheese. Okay, this is going to require scissors. Now I'm not saying that this is bad here because a lot of times I buy things in the store and I have a hard time getting them open. So again, I'm going to treat it like a tube of toothpaste. Squeeze from the bottom and then roll it down until it all comes out. A little bit more. There we go. And then we stir that in. Okay, so after we've added our cream cheese, we get that melted in here. We gotta add half of our package of Parmesan cheese. I just want to get some of these clumps out. It's smelling good. Alright, I'm gonna cut this open, and I don't want to use all of it, so I'm going to use my fingers so I don't accidentally dump the whole thing in. And then we want to save some for the finished dish. And so we stir that. Okay, and we got to add our butter, which is a tablespoon. Get that melted. And get it stirred, and then we cook it for a little while until it's kind of thickened. So hopefully that won't take that long, but I will talk about the meal we had yesterday. I have to say we had the barbecued pork sloppy joes, and sorry here, and they were delicious. I would cook that again. My only disappointment with that meal was it was missing the fry seasoning. So we replaced it with seasoned salt. So we're not exactly sure if it's the same as seasoned salt, but we just went with it. So last night's meal was very delicious. It took longer to cook than anticipated, and we were missing some ingredients, and we had some not so good produce, and we called and they were very gracious and refunded our money. We had the choice to get a free box or to get a money return, And for this one, we chose to get our money returned. Because basically we are, not ordering next week. We're ordering a different meal delivery kit and trying that one. That looks pretty thick now. So now it says to add the drained pasta, and it's kind of sticky. I probably should have put some butter in it after I drained it. But let's hope for the best here. So I'm going to put all that in. And I did break my pasta in half. Okay, that's good there. And then between this and this, I'm going to get it incorporated into this sauce here. And let that pasta heat up again. And then we add our roasted tomatoes. Ooh, it looks delicious. It really does. I will say the recipes are good. The recipes are very good. And if you are not a cook, this is a way to gain some recipes and maybe, just buy the ingredients yourself. If you like the programs and you don't have time to go shopping, this is a good program. Now, the meals are ample enough for me. If you've got a man that eats a little more, then it's probably not enough in the serving. If I was single and cooking for myself, I would just order the 2-meal kit, and I would have a serving for dinner, and then I'd probably eat the other serving for lunch, or just eat it 2 days in a row to save some time there. Okay, so I'm just going to let that heat up a little while, and then we're going to plate it up and add some Parmesan. All right, so I'm going to go start dividing it up in my pan here. I want to make sure I get enough meat in both. I think that looks fairly even. I am turning off my heat, and we're going to plate these up. So that might be easier said than done. All right, let's get all this on one plate. This would be good with some garlic bread or something like that. If it came with some bread, it would really be nice. This one didn't. Of course, you can always add your bread. To me, though, these meal kits are supposed to be complete. So is it really economical if you have to add a salad or a bread or something to make the meal complete? Okay, let's get this plated up here. So those are just my thoughts, but please stay tuned for when we finish the series, and we're going to rate everything. And please keep in mind, we are not sponsored. We purchased these ourselves. We are having these for our meals. And every opinion on here is our opinion. You may have a different opinion. So, and you are free to comment below. If you love this meal kit, I'd like to know. If you had complaints with this meal kit, I'd like to know. So please comment below. All right, I think we've got this plated up. And here you have it. The chicken sausage roasted tomato linguine. It looks and smells delicious, and I can't wait to eat it. So I hope you will stay tuned for the next one. And until the next video, God bless and take care.